I cannot believe that he said this, but I'm so glad that he did. Devin Vassell, not a man of too many words, but he is not afraid to say what is on his mind, and he just did about this San Antonio Spurs team, and we are going to break it down here on Spurs Digest with your host, Keenan Warner. And guys, if you guys haven't yet, take a spur of the moment to get every Spurs moment moving forward by hitting that subscribe button. The growth of this channel has been amazing. We love everything that you guys have been helping to provide us, comments and your suggestions, everything there. Plus, it gives us stuff to talk about, along with, of course, the San Antonio Spurs news to talk about here. But let's move on to that guy, Devin Vassell. He's not the villain, that's Jeremy Sochan. He's not the superstar, that's Wemby. He's not the young rookie, that's Stephon Castle. But Devin Vassell, an integral part of this team, he's drops defiant take on ugly losing streak. And we've all talked about it. We all have our differences. Obviously, I talked about on my last video, me talking about how Wemby, I think, needs to take a continuous step up in the consistency there. That mixed views on that and mixed opinions on that. Some people like absolutely, other people feel like it's on the organization, and it's on everybody. Don't get me wrong, you can point blame. Just with the roster we have now, I thought that he could take a next step up but we got to get him some help moving forward. But we're now going to France, and hopefully that's the help that the San Antonio Spurs need for a pair game overseas, continuously looking to expand basketball globally, of course, the NBA. But among the circumstances, Wemby's homecoming, which is great. The Spurs go to Paris, 3-game losing streak. It's really not on the silver and black second level scorer, Devin Vassell. And continuing to discuss what's been ailing the team, Vassell focused on the one side of the ball. In each of their last 6 losses, the Spurs have given up more than 113 points per game, their defensive averages on the season. The 128 points they allowed in Miami's fall in line with the last 4 in which they have given up more than 120. The defensive side, that's not going to get it done. Vassell was wide spoken about how this trip is going to go. For him, it's a business trip. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff going on and there's a lot of moving pieces, but the reason we're going out there is to play basketball. The main thing is the main thing, so we got to keep that the main thing, essentially. And from there, I mean, we've been getting killed in transition. We've been getting killed off straight line drives. That was the Grizzlies game where they just got blitzed by them. It was Scottie Pippen Jr. getting downhill. It was Desmond Bane getting downhill. Jaren Jackson doing what he was doing. Obviously, Tyler Hero in the last game. You had Duncan Robinson even in the last game, which is crazy because that's not even what he does. But it's causing us to help. Then they're having open threes. Vassell continued. I think that's it. Between those two things over the past couple games, I feel like those have been the main things. I don't think we're losing, and it's like the teams are better than us or nothing like that. And he's right. The teams aren't better than the Spurs. They're playing with the Spurs. The Spurs just go on these 1 quarter, 8-minute, 16-minute lapses of just, we don't remember how to play basketball. And that happens, and everything just goes awry. We've seen it for the entire month of January, pretty much. Things just go awry, and that is the lack of consistency. And it's offensive consistency because they're not putting up points in bunches. Like, obviously the basketball's a game of runs. You're not gonna be perfect every single drive, every single possession, every single minute, but it's going so long. There's not people that have been stopping runs and the shots they've been getting, but a lot of that's created off defense. They're great in transition when they got 4-on-3s, when Castle's able to get out, Vassell's able to get out, Wemby's able to get out. When these guys are able to get in the open floor, that's where the Spurs are at their best, and defense is their calling card. So the one thing that's been disappointing over this run is the fact that the defense has lacked. It's one thing with offense because we know that's going to come at times because we don't have the offensive personnel to be elite. We have it to be good but not elite, but we have the defense to be elite. And when we're allowing 128 to the Miami Heat, that's a problem. That's a problem. We have to take more pride in guarding the ball one-on-one. I think that will help us out a lot. We've played Indiana. We know they like to get up and down, so we know that we've got to get back in transition. This trip honestly couldn't have come at a better time, and they might not be able to play a better opponent because it's a team that is very good but not great. They can play with any team. They can beat any team on any given night. We obviously saw them get to the conference championship or the conference finals last year against Boston. But they're going to get up and down. They're going to move the ball. They're going to want to make this a track meet. How well can you play half-court defense? How well can you play your full-court defense? And you're getting out of the States. You're getting Wemby more. Wemby needed a little bit of a break, maybe. I know he's been off. He's been off a little bit offensively. Maybe going home, being able to go wear the Louis Vuitton out to the shows and be home with his people and just embrace the fact that France loves him more than anything because it's Wemby. Of course, how can you not? This is going to be something that will be big for the San Antonio Spurs, and I'm glad Vassell is not afraid to talk and say everything that's on his mind. But we are going to move on real quick. I wanted to mention this before. Stephon Castle's doing something that hasn't been done since 1988. Shout out to that. Commits for the slam dunk contest. That's great. One thing that that you guys obviously don't know because we don't talk about it here. Big slam dunk guy. Massive slam dunk guy. The history of it, I love all of it. Like, I could go through and talk for days and days about this, about the NBA slam dunk contest and how it bothers me so much of today. LeBron specifically with it. But dunk contest, 4th overall pick. He's now going to be one of an actual name. I love the fact that he's a name in the dunk contest. We don't just have these randos from random spots. I mean, this was the 1988 dunk contest. We had Cadillac Anderson. That was a guy that we had. But look at the names in this. Clyde Drexler, one of the best shooting guards of all time. Mike. Jerome Kersey, very good role player on that Portland Trailblazer team that ended up going to the finals, losing to the Bulls in 92. Otis Smith, 10 points a game in his career. Fine, you're going to have a couple guys here and there that are not all that. Spud Webb, we know what Spud Webb was. 5'6" guy with a bunch of bounce. And then Dominique Wilkins, a guy who could put up 45 to 48 points against the Boston Celtics in a Game 7. You've got actual stars. You got names. They don't have to always be great, but like people like John Morant, people like Zion, LeBron, who never did one. Those people, you got to do it. And Stephon Castle's like, wait a second, I'm young, I got bounce, I'm good. Like, what are we doing here? I'm going to do a slam dunk contest. And kudos to you. I hope we have more actual names and players that do slam dunk contests because we need to. Make it fun. We understand the league's becoming more three-point shooting, whatever. We still love dunks. Dunk the ball. I think Stephon Castle already going to win it. Don't care who else is in it. Stephon Castle's going to win it. We ride for the Spurs. But let me know what you guys think actually about Devin Vassell's comment. How do you take his mindset, and how do you feel the Spurs going to Paris? How do you think that's going to do for them? Do you think it's going to actually help them, hinder them, or not really change anything at all? And let me know what you guys think, too, about the dunk contest. I like to know people's thoughts on how the dunk contest is or what, if anything, needs to change, whatnot. But this has been Spurs Digest with your host, Keenan Warner. I appreciate all of you guys, and I will be seeing all of you guys very soon.